Will the Cavs break the Warriors record? The Cavs are 15-0, which is second best in NBA history. Number 1 is the Golden State Warriors, who we know went 24-0 back in 2015-2016. They tied the Washington Capitals and the Rockets for second on this list. So will the Cavs stay undefeated, and will they break the Warriors record? Also, will this team make the NBA Finals? As you can see right here, all three of those teams who had this hot start made it to the NBA Finals. Only one team won the championship, and that was the Houston Rockets. The 2015-2016 Golden State Warriors, that was the 73-9 team who has the record for the most wins in NBA history. In addition to that, we have more NBA history. The Boston Celtics are the current champions, and they are facing off against the Cavaliers the next game. This is the 4th time in NBA history that this has happened, where a team who has started 15-0 has faced the defending champion. I moved so I wouldn't block the screen, but this is the first time it's happened since the Chicago Bulls faced the Rockets in '96, which is just kind of ironic because the Rockets were one of the 15-0 teams that won the championship. Here's why the Cavs can actually beat Boston the next game and continue this hot streak. The Cavs are number 7 in the league in defense, which I understand is not number 1, but that's still a top 10 defense. And as you can see, Boston has the 10th rated defense, so they are facing Boston, and technically their defense is worse than the Cavs. So that might actually work out in the Cavs' favor. The Cleveland Cavaliers also are number 1 in the league in points scored per game. And right behind them is the Boston Celtics. So it's close on both ends, but every little bit counts. So in this category, Cavs are also ahead. But here's where the Cavs have really separated themselves from the Celtics for, this upcoming game, but in general. Number 2 is the Golden State Warriors. Shout out to them. If you watch this page, you know what I'm talking about. But the Cleveland Cavaliers are shooting 42% from 3. That's a crazy number because this is a team stat. This is not an individual player stat. For the record, and don't quote me on this, but I believe Boston was number 1 in the league last year, shooting like 39%. So if Boston shot 39% as a team, the Cavs are 42. So you have to think about how crazy that is. And to be honest, if you've watched some of the Cavs games, it feels like they're shooting more than 42% from 3. I know there have been some games where in the first half, they've gone like 8 of 11 from 3, like they have been doing it offensively and defensively. I made a video a little while ago when this streak was like 7 or something like that. And I was talking about how Kenny Atkinson is one of their secret weapons. Because Kenny Atkinson, brand new coach, he's obviously implementing some new things. And it's working. And I always thought Kenny Atkinson was a good coach on the Nets. And he's reunited with Karis LeVert and Jared Allen, so he knows those two players very well. I also think the play of Darius Garland and Evan Mobley should not be ignored. We know what Donovan Mitchell is, what he's done in his career, and what he is doing for the Cavs this season. But Darius Garland looks like he's on a whole nother level. Evan Mobley also, but let me talk about Darius Garland first. Darius Garland's numbers may not be like, 10 points higher than they were last year, but Darius Garland's confidence looks so different. I say this about players sometimes. You just see a complete difference in how they're playing, and it's not necessarily numbers-wise. It's just the way they're taking their shots. They're so confident. Darius Garland has always been a good player. He was already an all-star. So if he can improve from that, the Cavs got a shot. Shout out to Evan Mobley too, because one of the things that I've been talking about, I thought Evan Mobley last year was going to take a big step forward. And I felt like, and I feel like in order for this team to be a championship contender, they need Evan Mobley to be that guy. He can be the number 2 scoring option to Donovan Mitchell. I think that's not a problem because Evan Mobley also is going to be a top defender. Maybe he could even be the 3rd scoring option technically to Darius Garland, but I do feel like Evan Mobley needs to at least be 1B or 2B and 2A with Darius Garland. Evan Mobley's skill set offensively and defensively makes him unique, and it's part of what makes the Cavs so special. And if they maximize his abilities, and which they're doing right now, that is part of why they are thriving. Evan Mobley has always shown potential and high skill set, so to see it show up now is just perfect timing. He is taking steps forward, and let's also talk about Jared Allen. I know Jared Allen has gotten a double-double many times in his career, and it's not like breaking news to see him get double-doubles nightly, but there seems to be something different about his play also. Like his numbers, again, like Darius Garland's may not be so much higher, but do you feel like you're watching Jared Allen, you're like, wait, why does his 18 and 12 rebounds feel like 25 and 18 rebounds? And Jared Allen also, this is not new for him, but He goes up and tries to block every shot, which is something I have said about him for years that I love. I love when players are not afraid to get dunked on, because if you don't try, you're giving up an open basket. And Jared Allen has always in his career tried to block a shot. Even if he lands on somebody's poster, he will get a lot of blocks as well. So I do think the Cavs can beat Boston and stay undefeated. Do we think they're going to break the Warriors record? Honestly, I don't think so, because 24-0 is crazy. Listen, they're at 15-0. They're 9 games away, so they're not too far away. But it just takes one, you know? And then the question is, if they got to that point at the end of the season, do you think they would go for the record, or do you think they can get the record? Do we think at this moment the Cavs can literally go 74-8 and take the Warriors record? I don't know, because I feel like when the Bulls went 72-10, nobody thought that would be broken. So it's hard for me to say that I think that record will be broken, because everything has to go right in the season. Like, everything has to fall your way. I don't think people understand how hard it is to do that. To only lose 9 games in an NBA season, it's not just about even being healthy, which is a big portion of it, but it's also about, you know, at the end of the game, just having the ball bounce your way when you take that game-winning 3. Like, there are so many things to factor in. So I'm going to say no on breaking the 73-9 record, but the Cavs look good.